All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a child now. His name is Julian. He's 7 months old. And it really has gotten my wheels turning about how dangerous this world is for kids if you're not a conscious parent. Like the shitstorm of toxins and chemicals that I had to deal with as a kid simply because my parents didn't learn about this stuff was just mind-blowing what I've had to deal with and the uphill battle I've had to climb to just get myself back to a whole state and a loving state and my energy again. Like literally took me like 7 years, right? You don't want your kids subjected to toxins. It is a complete and utter waste because it's so easy to fix. And why would you want them subjected to that year after year after year? You're gonna put so much energy and time into hoping that they're happy, healthy children, and you pay for school and you pay for nannies, and you don't want them, watching bad television and talking to bad people. And then in the home, you'll have bad shit literally everywhere, festering in every corner, chemicals, toxins, heavy metals, plastics. So let's take care of our kids so our kids don't have to deal with the shit that we're dealing with, right? Step one, okay, is going to be their clothes. In the laundry room, when I'm washing my baby's clothes, I always use Molly's Suds, which is a laundry powder. I use borax and baking soda, and that's about it. Sometimes I use this bleach alternative if I have some whites, but I'm never gonna use the chemical synthetic. Anytime you've seen a commercial for a product, run. If you see Downy and Tide and all these companies, if they're selling it at a CVS, run. Selling it at a Walgreens, run, okay? You gotta make sure you're not getting all these chemicals on the sensitive baby's skin. The baby's gonna absorb everything. My son's sweating all the time. It's somewhat hot in this house. His head is always sweating. You don't want him touching polyester, so these are cotton. So number one, the clothes themselves, no polyester. And number two, the way you wash them. Otherwise, you're gonna have fragrances, hormone-disrupting chemicals, and all different kinds of benzenes and aldehydes and all kinds of shit in the baby's skin from the time they're 2 weeks old, right? Why would you subject a child to that? So just stick to borax, stick to Molly's Suds, and you'll be safe and you'll be good to go. All right, guys, so next up on the list is gonna be air quality in the home, okay? Now, this is my favorite air filter. This is a Jasper. This is like top of the line, and we have this in the living room. I'm about to show you the bedroom in a moment where we have another filter, but you gotta make sure wherever there are diapers, if your baby is pooping, in the beginning when it's just breast milk, it's not that big of a deal, but once they start eating, their feces are a completely different animal, and you don't want to have those diapers in an open trash. So we do two things, okay? Number one, we use air filter in the living room, we use an air filter in the bedroom, and number two, we always make sure the diapers are in a closed trash bin. Let me show you what I got in my bedroom. So right next to the bed, we have a Koei air filter. The Jasper is much better, but this is a budget-friendly air filter, which everyone can get. There's no particular reason that that's over there and this is here. I could switch them if I wanted, but we do make sure the air quality stays super good throughout the night in our bedroom. And here, as I said, we have something called the Diaper Genie so that the air quality is not being reduced in the bedroom. So we make sure diapers go in here. They're not in an open trash, or they're not even in like a normal trash bin, because some of those microbes can come in the air. This is special for diapers, okay? The other things when it comes to having a child, okay? Ask questions and research the hepatitis B vaccine. Why do babies on the first day that they're born get injected with a potentially dangerous vaccine for an STD, a blood transmitted disease, okay? Hepatitis B. If you're not having sex, if you're not using needles, how could you get hepatitis B? Yet there's a vaccine on the first day. That is something that you should do your own research on. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I am just gonna tell you to use caution. And to inject a child on the first day that they're born is pretty insane to me. Now, the other important thing is the food. So my wife and I are always cooking for our baby, and the food that we eat is the food that the baby's gonna eat. We're gonna use natural foods, organic foods, super clean olive oil, ground beef, basic foods, and low sugar. We have not given our baby any fruit yet. We're not interested in turning on those receptors for a newborn baby to start having sugar. It's not correct in my opinion. We don't like TV, we don't like sugar when it comes to our child. Eventually, we'll have them have some berries and whatnot, but we're just staying away from sugar right now. Think about how much better your life would have been if you didn't taste sugar. It's a total trap, it's bullshit. Not to say that sweetness doesn't give benefit to a human body, but to just be consuming a lot of fruits at a young age, I don't believe is correct for the microbiome, okay, or for the brain health, or for dopamine for that matter, right? When we need to give the baby something other than the home cooked food, we're not gonna go with formula. We never did the formula, right? Breast milk is obviously the best thing you can do. If you can't do breast milk, there are other things. There's super clean formulas from Germany. There's goat's milk, there's camel's milk. There's ways of making mineral-based milks. There's different things other than buying a shitty formula. Again, if you've seen a commercial for it, run. Okay, get your child as far away as possible if you've seen a commercial for it. This company is really, really good. And this is Serenity Kids. This is what we'll use if we're on the go and we just absolutely cannot make something. It's not perfect, it's in plastic. Nonetheless, you gotta have some sort of convenience at times. Can't be cooking all the time. This is the food we use. It's one of the top companies. Okay, so stay away from the formulas if you can. Breastfeed if you can. Get a really, really good brand. Yes, it's expensive, but what's more important than your child? Like seriously, I would go into credit card debt if it meant my child would be eating clean food versus not clean food. When you invest in your health, money comes back. That's really important, okay, the food. In terms of what we do, we use iodine and we use vitamin D3. Do your own research, okay? I'm not a doctor. D3, super good for kids, and iodine. I do 1 drop of iodine in my baby's mouth once or twice a week. It's a very low dose and it's not every day, and you don't really want to start until 6, 7, 8 months in. So there's 2 things I do with iodine. You're gonna need to do your own research. You're gonna need to learn for yourself. Please don't take my word for it, because as always, medicine in the wrong dose can be harmful. If you're loading a baby up with iodine, they are liable to have some thyroid issues in the future. If you give them the right dose in the right way, particularly transdermally, it's way safer. So super, super low dosages, once or twice a week orally, okay? And that's gonna be up to you, do your own research. But what I do is I put it in the bathtub. And so what I'll do is I'll take about 3 dropperfuls of iodine and put it in the bathtub. Anywhere between 1 and 3 dropperfuls, depends how much water. You are pulling out the toxic halogens from the tap water, okay? And you are basically binding to the chlorine, the bromide, the fluoride, all right? And so you're nullifying the toxins in the tap water so your child doesn't have to take all that in. And you're making sure they have ample stores of iodine, which is gonna get absorbed transdermally. So this is my little trick so that my baby doesn't get harmed in the bathtub, which is just a normal thing that everyone does, and you think it's safe for your kid, all right, but after 5, 10, 15 years, that's a lot of chlorine. Those are a lot of halogens coming in. So that's what I use iodine for. And then last but not least, for the skin, right? Like we're not putting chemicals on the baby's skin. That's very, very important. All these things are important for adults as well, by the way. We just use coconut oil on our baby's skin, right? This is what we do every single day. The face, the skin after a bath. You don't need the Aveeno and all of those chemical shit. It's a total waste of money, and it's not even actually hydrating the skin cells. It's addictive. You know, just like chapstick, the chemical chapstick, it's literally designed to be addictive, where you need those chemicals in order to feel like your skin is hydrated, but it's an illusion, okay? So that's how we keep our baby healthy. There's a lot of other things, like what the mother does, you know, in terms of supplementation and how to increase breast milk production and the right minerals so that the baby gets the right minerals. We love spirulina and chlorella for my wife. That goes through the breast milk and helps clean the baby as well. There's a million and one things you can do, but these are the basics. These are the core basics if you don't want to harm your child. Not to mention, there's all these energetic properties and, you know, in terms of how to actually protect your child from bad energy. I see a lot of people with their children, their newborn babies, 5, 6 months old, in a stroller, just totally wide open to the world. In a city. You know, I've seen like 1-year-olds in the city facing the outside of the street with no blanket, no jacket, and just the wind hitting them and the city hitting them, and they're just like getting hit. You gotta protect your children. You gotta learn how to have a sealed container for your children, whether it be in their bedroom, when you're walking them around the city. There has to be a training. I should write a book on this or something. People are so numb, they don't understand how sensitive their children are. Your children are sensitive and you gotta protect them. No fear, but like the basic example of having a child front facing on your stroller in the middle of a city with thousands of people around him, that is so unhealthy. Children need to be sealed and protected. They need to be leaning on your energy to protect them almost at all times. There is an energetic spiritual component to protecting your children. It's a different conversation, but it is very, very important. The way you hold them, when you're holding them, how you're holding them, in your energy while you're holding them. I've seen so many instances where mothers yelling at her one child while her newborn is on her arms, and the newborn starts crying because the yelling is so intense for that baby. So there's just basic things. We've lost our way in terms of just understanding the nervous system, and this nervous system is fragile. It's a very delicate thing. Gotta learn how to be with the nervous system of your child, but it starts with you being with your own nervous system. So that's what I got for you. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.